The 981 Porsche Cayman sounds amazing, stock. The flat 6, absolutely epic. But, as you can hear, it could sound a lot better. So in this video, we are going to be upgrading the exhaust and hopefully making this beast absolutely sing. So that's before, and this will be after. We hope to install the best exhaust system you can get for any Porsche Cayman on the market, and that is the Armytrix Exhaust. We will show you how to install it, we'll show you any issues along the way, and we'll show you before and after sound. Please make sure that you give this video a like, and we would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. My name is Ethan, and welcome to Car Creation. So what comes in the box? It's packaged pretty good. That's everything out on the table. Tuning badge to put in your car, the OBD reader, and 2 fobs, which look absolutely sick. Look at that. We went for the Armytrix stainless steel Valvetronic exhaust because it's one of the higher pitch, louder exhausts on the market. It was really important to us to get the sound to be as exotic as possible, all while not being too guttural. All right, these go from the headers to the exhaust. Here we have the hanger for everything, and this is the exhaust portion of the car. The etched in logo there, and then beautiful rainbow welds. Now, while a lot smaller than the stock one, with a little press of a button, you can bypass this monstrosity, and you can have a complete straight piped Porsche Cayman. So that's very exciting, and that is exactly why we bought this. What's super exciting also is these beautiful exhaust tips right here that are going to replace the mono tip that I currently have on it. So without any further ado, let's get that car in here, lift it up, and start tearing out the old one. So our first step will be to raise up the car, and then we're going to look at what we have to work with underneath the car. There should be a huge hefty exhaust under there that will do the car many favors to remove. We were just revving it for the camera, and it could be very hot. So we're going to take a look at what we have under there, and then we're going to get this thing taken off ASAP.
Wow, look at that athleticism.
Before we do anything, we're just going to spray all the bolts with some penetrating oil. So what we're going to do first is remove E-Torx. So it's an E12, and next to the main part of the exhaust to, I guess it's called the downpipe on both sides. So we're going to remove that because what we decided to do is first of all remove the big chunky exhaust system first, and then we will remove the downpipe and go from there. Oh my goodness. Woo! Might need a breaker bar.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah, baby.
I love that stuff.
Car guy ASMR. That's what we're changing the channel to. We got 2 bolts loosened, 2 bolts off, and about 20 more to go, because this is German engineering. I have to do all the mechanicking around here.
14 mil, and we take out the bolt here that connects the brace of the exhaust to the frame that connects to the end of the diff. I'm thinking that we're going to try to do the reverse order of what we take off. So we'll put on the downpipes first, and then we'll put on the bracket, and then we'll put on the exhaust pieces. But this new exhaust system looks epic and will be a huge step in the right direction as we transform this base former rental car into this beautiful Porsche Cayman beast. So hard to get in there. 2 bolts on this side right there, and then 2 bolts on the other side.
To the last bolts for this section.
This is a just in case shot, in case it falls on my head. Here's the culprit.
Major success.
Should just be able to wiggle it forward, I think, if my calculations are correct. We got all the bolts off of just the exhaust portion, as well as most of the ones off the bracket. Currently looking at about 5 minutes, but let's see if it will come off as easily as we think it will. Well, that is not as easy as we thought it would be. It is all one piece, the lower exhaust as well as the downpipes. Now we just have 4 more E-Torx. It'll probably be easier to lift the entire car off and remove the wheels at the back because we have to get from the top down. Sometimes the wheels of the car are torqued on a lot harder than you would think, but they are now off, and we're now accessing the bolt from the top. You have that bolt right there, and then that one underneath, but we just have to get in there and take those off. And we should be set for removing the entire exhaust. Oh, it's down, I think. Yeah, we just have to lift it off. All right. Oh my goodness, how black my hands got from that. So, old exhaust off, and It only took us, we're now at 43 minutes. Whenever you take off an exhaust, you must try it completely straight piped. And I'm gonna go wash my hands before I get in the Porsche. My ears are killing me still.
That is so stupidly loud.
So obviously we can't always drive around with a completely straight piped exhaust. The exhaust that we got is an Armytrix exhaust, and we got it with help from Pelican Parts. So if you want to see this exhaust or any other Porsche parts, take a look with the links down below, and you'll be helping out our channel sponsors as well as ourselves. But without any further ado, let's get installing this exhaust and see what it sounds like on the road. All right, so we laid out the exhaust on the ground. Make sure we know where everything's going. It can be like assembling IKEA furniture if you're not careful. These actually go at an angle. So I'm glad I laid that out on the ground before we decided to put that on the car. This little bracket right here goes in the middle, and that pretty much creates a cool little resonance between the chambers that gives it the nice high-pitched sound that this exhaust is known for. Firstly, we're gonna take these upper bits of the exhaust right here, put those on the car first, and then we should be able to mount up each side separately. I'm trying to hold back the excitement in my voice. Can't use it all up until we're ripping down the highway. Differences between these exhausts, it's insane. We're losing a lot of pounds here. Completely shot my back on that last one. Trying to hyperextend and lift it up there. Should have brought the lift down a little bit, but live and learn. So now we just have to line everything up. Got all those bolts bolted in there. Armytrix valves right here. These little gaskets that go in between. And then we have the larger bolts that go through there. All right, we're just putting in the rest of the bolts here, and we are at 1 hour and 43 minutes. Time for them tips. Now we might have to change them a little bit, but in my opinion, they should sit in line with that. 2 hours and 16 minutes. So we got it all down and all ready, and then we realized that we forgot to install the vacuum tubes that actuate the exhaust and turn the flaps on and off. In fairness, the directions as well as all this system that we forgot to install was hidden underneath the foam in one of the boxes. So basically what you do is tap into the current vacuum system, and you add in a splitter valve right there. And what the splitter would do is add an output to a little electronic actuator right here. Then you run a vacuum line from that to the valve to the back of the car. And then you get this little OBD reader and wire that you connect to the OBD port on the car. And that wire runs through the front firewall underneath the car and will connect that little electronic module that you installed by the vacuum line. Once all that is set up, hopefully it's gonna work, but I have to drill through the firewall and run this electronic module all the way down, which will take a lot of work. There we go. All right, so we got the wiring done. It goes from inside the car, it goes out to the front, goes underneath the car, and it runs up to about right here. And just like that, it should be done. So I guess we get on the car and see if the fob works and test it. So like when I press D, it's for drive, so you're going home. You press R, it's for race. All right, we're gonna do the first pull with the exhaust.
That's crazy. It's very aggressive. Second gear.
Woohoo! Oh my goodness gracious. Let's go on the highway.
The shift underneath the tunnel was perfect! Oh my goodness.
2.7 liter, just absolutely sings on the highway. Actually anywhere, really. Alright, so if I'm being honest, it's been a little bit of time since we did that first clip, and so there's some snow outside. So what we're gonna do now is review the exhaust, and I'm gonna talk about how loud it is before and after the exhaust, what the drone is like, and if I would recommend it to you. Now, off the bat, one of the annoying things is that the little button doesn't seem like it always works. So instead, I have to use the app and connect to it. This is gonna be a very, very cold start. What about daily livability? Well, this exhaust isn't terribly bad in that sense. The one issue is that there is a bad drone between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM, and especially bad just above 2,000. So if I drop it a little bit, you hear how nasty that is? And it just vibrates in your ears, and you can't go for very long without getting a headache. But the nice thing is that you can just drive above it, or you can drive below it. And if you drive below it, it's actually silent. If you're putting it on your daily driver and you really want to not have to worry about having that drone, you should probably go for something more like the Soul Exhaust, because they really worked hard to get that drone down between about 2,000 and 2,500 RPMs. It doesn't go as high pitched, and it doesn't sound as exotic as this exhaust does. But if you want that crazy high-pitched GT3 like sound and you go for this exhaust, don't worry about the drone too much, because like I said before, you can just drop an RPM or just go up an RPM and you're all good. Before, after test, and I have a decibel reader here. Take her away. That got to 114 decibels. Let's now take it onto the road, get some shots of what it sounds like outside the car. It just slams you through the gear change, and you hear like this sharp crack. It pulls you in the back of the seat a lot harder than it did before the exhaust. Alright, so that's the video. We hope you enjoyed. This exhaust sounds absolutely insane. It's super loud and it sounds exotic, and that's exactly what I want. Yes, it has some drone in between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM, but you get that with a fancy sports car if you do the exhaust for the most part. So what should we do next? Should we remove the headers? Should we get new rims? Should we get a wing? Leave us in the comments down below what we should do next. We hope you enjoyed the video, but most of all, we hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.